the latest from the courtroom, and what's next for Lindsay Roddick. We'll also see you on the CW because you're talking about the city's engineering department. It's come under a lot of scrutiny, and some reps are worried about its future. And reality TV star Caitlyn Jenner is back in the news. This time it's for possible legal trouble tied to a deadly crash. It's routine nowadays to have your bags searched at sports events, concerts, and of course at the airport. But now they may get searched at movie theaters too. Nicole?
Showers and thunderstorms are popping up on Doppler radar. Will you see rain tonight? I'll have that answer in Storm Track Weather.
It's all next on ABC-7 at 9. Get ready. You become part of the day's news right now.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC-7 at 9 on the El Paso Las Cruces CW.
Hello everyone, this is ABC-7 at 9 on the CW. I'm Ashley Rodriguez in for Bob Harp, and I have all the stories you're buzzing about on social media.
And I'm Nicole Gomez. I'm tracking what you're saying on social media, and I'm tracking the conditions out there. So coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to check on those current temperatures. Light rain is popping up on Doppler radar, so we'll check on Doppler radar, and that's all coming up in just a bit. Ashley?
All right, Nicole. Today, the jury decided on a verdict for the case of Lindsay Roddick. The mother was found guilty of injury to a child. Police say she was on cocaine when her son died. He was allegedly found dead, strapped to a car seat, upside down under a pile of pillows. ABC-7's Jerry Nahara was at the trial. He's live with the story. Jerry?
Ashley, 12 jurors unanimously decided Roddick was guilty of injury to a child. Roddick was facing two possible charges today: injury to a child, reckless endangerment, which means she was negligent in caring for the child, or injury to a child knowingly and intently. This means she knowingly brought harm to the child. The 12 jurors, which consisted of 11 women and 1 man, took about 8 hours to come up with a verdict. They chose to go with a lesser charge of injury to a child, reckless endangerment. As the judge read off the verdict, Roddick had no emotion. She was handcuffed and taken to the El Paso County Jail. Officials at the courthouse couldn't tell me what the maximum amount of time she could serve because they say there are different levels of charges that will be discussed in the sentencing phase of the trial that begins tomorrow at 8 a.m. Ashley?
All right, and we'll be there. Thanks, Jerry, for that. Police arrested a man after a bomb scare last night at a Las Cruces Staples store. From our New Mexico mobile newsroom, it happened about 6 on the 2200 block of East Loman Avenue. Police say 44-year-old Robert Schaefer handed an employee a bag and said it contained a bomb. Police say the bag did not contain a bomb or explosive device. Police say Schaefer, who is believed to be homeless, handed over the bag and continued to walk around the aisles of the Staples office supply store. He's charged with 1 count of delivering a hoax bomb, a 4th-degree felony. The store and several nearby businesses were evacuated. Las Cruces police spokesman Dan Trujillo says investigators do not believe the incident is related to any of the recent bombings at Las Cruces churches or a device found at a mall last week.
This is one that was very unique because somebody actually walked in and presented themselves and actually showed what they or purported that there's an explosive in a bag. That's actually unlike the other incidents. And then this person actually stayed on scene.
Las Cruces police say they are serious about tracking down people who threaten residents' safety, whether the threat is real or not. We also spoke to Mayor Ken Miyagishima. He says he understands the Las Cruces community is worried, and he's planning to hold a town hall meeting in a couple weeks to discuss security. Now to a story you'll see only on ABC-7, a city official concerned about the future of the engineering department since it's come under fire lately for delays on big projects like the San Jacinto Plaza. The city hired a firm to evaluate the department to recommend anything from how to improve workflow to outsourcing some of the work. The new head of the city's engineering department, now called Capital Improvements, says the company is trying to improve the department, not get rid of it. But City Rep Lily Limon is concerned the hired company could cause engineers to lose their jobs. Limon wrote an open letter to the engineering department saying she supports them. City Rep Michael No is concerned the letter may be breaking a city charter rule that does not allow city reps to address job performance with individual employees.
A lot of work to a department, a tremendous amount of work. Just some of it need to be outsourced. All we're doing is looking at, how can we help them to succeed?
Of confidence and trust and belief and encouragement for employees. Because right now, they really weren't getting that message. They were getting the message that we're done with you.
The city manager has acknowledged a lack of leadership within the engineering department. But despite that, about 87% of the city's construction projects in the last couple of years have come under budget and on time or early. Also, out of City Council, the city will consider suspending the higher rates proposed by El Paso Electric next week. That means the rates increase cannot take effect immediately, giving the city more time to review the request. El Paso Electric tells us this was expected and is part of the process. The utility says it needs to generate an extra $71.5 million a year to recover the costs of more than $1 billion invested in infrastructure. For residential customers in El Paso, the increase is expected to be just under 12%. This means the average customer would see an increase of about $8.50 a month on their home bill. ABC-7 and Tech's out with live traffic coverage tonight. This is a look at I-10 in Jobata, I-10 in Zaragoza on the east side. Everything flowing. We'll go ahead and keep an eye on our traffic cameras and let you know of any alerts. To Storm Track weather now. Nicole Gomez has your first forecast. Hi, Nicole.
Hi, Ashley. It's actually pretty nice out there right now, but that moisture's in place. The temperatures are hot, so it feels a bit humid. But let's take a look at Doppler radar. We are tracking some light rain moving through portions of the borderland. First, let's travel up to White Sands, where you can see a lot of the lighter greens. Again, that's just a few sprinkles. We'll travel down to the southeast around Fort Hancock, where we're seeing some storms move towards the east along I-10, and even some lightning strikes popping up here. But our temperatures, again, still warm outside. Las Cruces, you're at 85 degrees. We're at 91 at the airport El Paso, 84 dimming, and 75 is the current temperature out in Silver City. But it was hot today. Sierra Middle School, 100 degrees was your high, and Mesilla Valley Christian School, 101 degrees. Now, wind speeds, it's windy in Las Cruces, Alamogordo, a bit breezy in El Paso, and our wind gusts in Las Cruces currently at 26 miles per hour. So coming up, I'll let you know if the winds are expected to stick around. It will be another hot day tomorrow, and we're tracking more rain. What does that mean for your weekend? That answer in Storm Track weather. Ashley?
Nicole, thank you. 3 more people have tested positive for tuberculosis at Frank Macias Elementary. This comes after a round of retesting at the school, which is what health officials say is standard procedure. They say even if you test negative the first time, you can test positive weeks later, which is what happened here. But health officials assure parents with the school year just about to start, they have nothing to worry about.
We've met with parents several times at the school, and to calm them down. It is absolutely safe to go to school. It's a great time to go back to school. There are no one who was infectious left at the school, and we're finishing up our testing. Many people are being treated already. There's absolutely no reason to fear going back to school.
And those who tested positive during the retest will undergo chest x-rays and have their phlegm examined. Retesting also took place with a halfway house investigation. Results from those tests are not expected until late next week. Reality star Caitlyn Jenner could be charged with misdemeanor manslaughter in a deadly 4-car crash earlier this year. Officials said today that findings of an investigation are being turned over to a prosecutor. Jenner was rear-ended in the February accident, sending her SUV smashing into 69-year-old Kimberly Howe's Lexus. The impact sent Howe's car into oncoming traffic, where it was struck again. Howe died at the scene. There were no finding of gross negligence on Jenner's part. Police say she was driving under the speed limit, but too fast for conditions. Jenner released a statement apologizing to the victim's family. She is being sued by Howe's family and one of the other drivers who was cited for driving on a suspended license. Former President Jimmy Carter says he's starting radiation treatment today to battle melanoma cancer in his brain. At a news conference in Atlanta today, the 90-year-old said he felt sick during a trip last year. Doctors found a mass in his liver and determined it was melanoma. He was also told the cancer had spread to 4 spots in his brain. After the diagnosis, the former president thought he had only weeks left to live, and yet he said he was at ease.
You know, I've had a wonderful life. I've had thousands of friends, and I've had an exciting and adventurous and gratifying existence. So I was surprisingly at ease, much more so than my wife was.
America's 39th president said he's going to follow the doctor's advice and get 4 radiation treatments. Carter's father and all 3 of his siblings died of pancreatic cancer. During the news conference, the former president was asked if he had any regrets. He said he had one, the Iranian hostage crisis. In 1979, Iranian students stormed the U.S. embassy in Tehran after Carter allowed the exiled Shah to enter the U.S. for cancer treatment. Moviegoers may not be able to sneak in snacks into the theater anymore. In response to recent events, movie theater chain Regal Entertainment is now checking bags before allowing entrance into the theater. Earlier in the month, a man with a history of mental illness, armed with a pellet gun, hatchet, and pepper spray, attacked guests at a theater in Tennessee. 2 weeks before that, another man shot and killed 2 people and injured 9 in a movie theater in Louisiana. The company admits it might inconvenience guests, but it says it will provide better security. And here's what you're saying on our Facebook page about the possibility of theaters searching your bags. EPWM says tickets for the movies are already expensive as is, so paying an extra $1 or more would be a bit too much. Carlos, well, there goes my snacks for my movies. Only reason we're able to go often because we're able to sneak in munchies. Edgar, yes, but if they check bags, then they should let us take in our own snacks. Meet us in the middle. Fernando, man, safety is good, but they already charge too much for snacks and refreshments. All about snacks, guys. What about safety? Liza, I knew that was coming, but I'm sure metal detectors aren't that far away. What kind of society have we become? Connect with us by using the name See You on the CW on the Big 3 social media apps. You can also join the discussions at the KVIA.com Facebook page or at ABC-7 Breaking on Twitter. Much more to come here on ABC-7 at 9 on the CW. Groove and Glow 5K is just a few weeks away, and you don't have to run to join the fun. Why take picture? Just take it and run. Good question, Jorge. What would you do if you saw giant containers filled with cash on the road? That story later. Nicole?
Well, it'll be another hot day tomorrow, but we're tracking changes to the forecast. Temperatures will be a little cooler. Details in Storm Track Weather.
This is ABC-7 at 9 on the CW, where you don't just watch the news, you're part of the story.